Now I've got an ugly little pattern for you today. It has been a while since I've tied out a Federation of Fly Fishers pattern encyclopedia, and been an even longer while since I've tied anything out of emu. But I found one in here that looks interesting. It's an Emu Bugger, and it is just what it sounds like. It's a woolly bugger, but instead of a palmered hackle, it uses emu. So is that going to make it a better fly? Nah, I doubt it, but it's definitely different, and that's what I liked about it. And this is certainly one where you can just go crazy with the colors. I'm tying it in mostly black because I'll probably fish it as a leech, but you could tie this in anything, any bright colors you want, and fish it as an attractor pattern. Either way, it's a pretty fun tie. So there's one in the vise, just an Emu Bugger. Pretty simple pattern, and like I said, not really that pretty. I'm tying this thing on a size 6. This is a 3X long barbless streamer hook, and I've got a small bead on there. This might be undersized a little bit, but the bead isn't really going to add any weight for us. It's just going to give us a little flash and maybe a little bit of aerodynamic. So I am putting some weight on it, and this is an 025, so a little thicker than I normally do. I'm going to put a good bit of weight on it. I envision fishing this thing pretty deep. So go ahead and break that off, and you can either snip the back off or just try and wrap it around. You can wrap it around right there, zero waste. And I'm using black thread. I've stepped it up a little bit. This is a 140 denier. Let's go ahead and put a dam behind this. We can put a few wraps over it and then take it back to the bend of the hook. In the tail, I'm just going to use a fair-sized tuft of black Marabou, or any color Marabou really. I would probably try to match whatever body you're using. So let's go about, maybe even a little longer than that. How about that right there? And you can save this tuft of Marabou because you might have enough off the side for, your next fly right there. It just depends. And for the coolest part of this fly, it's this emu. This is a red. One in the book was black, but I'm just, mixing it up. I think red looks kind of cool. And there are various size feathers in that single pack. Some of them maybe 3 inches long, and then this one is probably 8 inches long right here. See that? I'm going to catch it in from the smaller side, but I am going to preen it back a little bit so that when I catch it in, I'm not immediately trapping any of these barbs coming off the side. And the recipe did say a wire rib was optional, so I'm going to opt to not use it. I should have tied this in the other way. What am I thinking? I wasn't thinking. Okay, let's go right here, because we do have to dub it back here. Now I've got this little excess piece right here. Let's get rid of that. And put some wax on our thread. We're going to dub it with, well, I'm using a super bright. The recipe called for a light bright, which I'm not really sure what that is. Probably something similar to this super bright. And it's going to take me a couple applications because we're going to dub it all the way up there to right behind that bead. And I'm not trying to get a tight noodle at all. In fact, I want it a little bit fuzzy. Might need to work on it a little bit on my way up, but again, kind of thick and kind of fuzzy if you can. And I think we need to go a little bit more. And I don't know, but I think having it a little bit thicker up front would look better. The one in the book was very thin body, but I think it should just be a little bit meatier. Okay, that's definitely a little bit meatier. Now we just wrap this up. And I understand why he said, you could use a rib, a wire rib. It would probably help this be a little bit more durable. But really, if you've never tied with emu, these stems are pretty strong. Now just try to break one. You'll see that it's a lot stronger than you might think. So I'm thinking it's going to be a fairly durable fly, just with without a rib. And I'm using one of the longer feathers because I want to put a few extra wraps up front. See that? That's pretty well palmered up through there. I'm going to put just a couple extra ones up front to give it a little bit more beefiness up here, I guess. Okay, let's take care of this excess. And you know, you might want to preen these back a little bit or not worry about it too much. I think I kind of like them sticking out almost perpendicular to the hook there. Let's go ahead and do a whip finish right behind the bead. And there you go. I think this is a pretty interesting, cool looking little pattern. I can't wait to get it out and see how it does. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.